And welcome back, folks. Welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. I'm Worm. And when last we left off, we took out a boss that I was expecting to have issues with, and discovered that Dark Souls 2 has some bullshit hitboxes. Now we're going to progress through the Lost Bastille. Just going to check these walls for illusory walls, because this place is full of them from what I remember. And we're going to progress through. I hope this time to reach the next boss, but it could be a way away yet. I do recall what the next boss is, and it was another one that gave me a lot of issues. Now we have the Bastille key. I can't actually remember what it does, so we're going to read its item description when we've finished off this Royal Swordsman. In fact, I do know what it does, so we don't need to do so. Over here is... oh yes, over here is another route also. That sounded vaguely like a dragon to me, but I couldn't see what it was. I do know what the Bastille key does, I believe, as well. I think it's used to open the door back to McGruff, or whatever his name is, the blacksmith. You want to watch out for these guys because they will jump at you and explode, as you can see there, and they also do some status effect damage. I don't know exactly what they do, but it isn't nice either way. I don't know where he thinks he's going. The AI in this game is a little questionable sometimes, but it's no matter, he's gone now. I think there's just a skeleton in here. Yes. Don't know what the point of that is. May well just be some cut content or something. But we can probably see through there if there's anything behind it. Yeah, so as you can see, there's nothing through there, folks. We are going to go back and do the rooftop jump that we've just seen. But first, I do want to just deal with these. Oh dear, I thought that was going to happen. Now, I thought these things heavily degraded your weapon, but I could be wrong there. Either way. We're going to try and take them out with the range on this weapon. Unfortunately, if we didn't deal with that one very well. I love the design of these enemies, by the way. Just a shame they disappear when they die. I don't think that happens in the other games. Also, be careful because there are enemies hiding in these. But they're dealt with, and there should, yes, I was about to say there should be another one up there. We're going to sort him out as well. Okay, maybe we're not. He should drop down. And now he's no issue. Don't think there's anything up here, but we'll check just in case. I don't think there is. So we're going to come through here. And we're about to trigger a series of illusory walls. Grab that item. And then... I thought there was one on this wall. Perhaps not. There's definitely one that leads outside, I was going to say. I'm certain there should be an illusory wall that leads out there. Maybe not, maybe you have to drop down from the top. Either way, we're going to come out here. I don't know what that is that's flying around up there. Oh, it is a dragon, it's there. Either way, as you can see, we have another pursuer fight. I did remember this one, but I was too distracted by the dragon. I swear if I die to the pursuer I'm going to be disappointed in myself. We're going to make sure we heal. This is a tighter arena than we're used to for this guy, so it can be a bit more awkward. And with Dark Souls 2's questionable hitboxes, it's not always wise to get in close combat with enemies, especially ones that can do a huge amount of damage. It's okay, we can use that as a time just to hit him a few times. I thought I was going to get hit by that there. But it's okay, he's nearly down now. I have been playing a lot of Elden Ring again, so the controls could be awkward to get used to. I've also just started Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which anyone who's seen this channel before will know I was going to 100% when it first came out. I started playing it and I got a little bored of it. There's some issues with it, but some of which have been resolved. But overall it's still not the best game in the world, but I'll give it the time it deserves. I mean, they put a lot of effort into making a long ass game. At least it'll take some time. It'll use some of my time up. But anyway, that's that for Sure Fight Dead. As you can see, there's an item over there. We'll go and grab it now. There's another one as well on a rooftop nearby. Or a wall nearby. I just can't remember exactly where now. I don't really want to drop down and then have to go through that whole area with the exploding enemies again. That's the problem. At least I thought that was another item you had to drop down and grab. Perhaps it was just that one. I didn't think you could get back up though when you dropped off there. Oh, wait, maybe it's around here. I think it's on the end of that lower wall there actually, folks. So we're gonna go and get that now. Jump over here. This can be a pain in the ass. The platforming in this game is really not very good. It's definitely not one of Dark Souls' strengths. So just be careful. And edge your way all the way around to the end of this wall. I'm actually glad I remembered about this, so I don't have to come back and do it later on. There's a safe way dropping down below us. But I think I want to go back round and see if we can get back up. I don't think we will be able to. And as you can see, it's a very precarious ledge to be walking along, but fuck it, we live on the edge. Okay, let's have a go at this. I don't expect... Oh, we can get back up there. Okay, I'm eating my words now. It would have been just sod law if I fell off and died there. Anyway, we're going to check these walls quickly. I don't think there is anything to do with them. No. So we can go back through here now. And it brings us back out around here, where we got ambushed by some of those exploding people. I think we'll go this way before we do the rooftop jump. But no. As I recall, the rooftop jump brings us back roughly to where we were at before. I do still need to take the route up through the elevator as well to drop down through the area I thought the second illusory wall was. We won't be doing that just yet. Is there anything there? No. I do apologise if I'm rushing this a little bit, folks, by the way. I'm actually enjoying it again. It's just I've played Dark Souls 2 a fair few times over the years. And as I've said a few times, it's definitely the most janky of the lot. It's still a good game in its own right, but these early stages of the game especially, I've played so many times now that I know it inside out really, and it all seems to blend together. There are some later stages though that are absolutely spectacular. Okay, this area is not nice. As you can see, we have several of these little bastards, I believe would be the word. So we're going to do what any good gamer does and get rid of them before they get rid of us. Now there should be some more upstairs. Quite a lot if I recall. Yes. Okay, we're going to rush in. Hack away at them. One at a time. We'll deal with this guy because he's stood up. And then finally this guy here. And you'll notice there is a fella frozen here. Now I believe he's actually an NPC. We're going to open this first. I think we've still got one of those items to unfreeze people. The petrified branch of yore or whatever they're called. We can also open this, which is just a quick route down there. We don't want to be going there just yet. because we haven't got this open. This is basically just a route to the next area, but then that enables us to bypass this horrible room because, as you may have noticed, there was a bonfire up here. I don't want to be going there just yet because we still have an area to explore down here, but we'll be doing it shortly. So through here is the lift, and as you may be able to see down there, just want to be careful showing it, there is a ledge. We're going to try and land on that ledge, we're going to fail, and we're going to die. Fuck. Okay, so we've now got the long run back to where we were. We've got to avoid getting killed as well. We're going to use the rooftops to jump over, just to bypass that small area. It's not too long a run back, but it's a pain in the ass. I actually kind of wish I'd got that bonfire now. I probably shouldn't use a human effigy at this point, just because there's a chance that fall might kill us a few times. I think this time we will get the bonfire shortcut. We're not going to kill anybody on the way back though. There's no point really at this point. We just want to make it through as quickly as possible. Kill this guy. And then up the ladder. We're going to try and run past the nasty people where possible. Although it may not be possible, because as you can see they're everywhere. Get up. Oh dear. I thought that might happen. Oh my god. This guy needs to die like now. I hate how long it takes you to stand up in this game as well. Okay, we're gonna dash through here. We know the enemies are there, we've seen them once already. Instead, we're gonna pick these ones off, because they could be a problem. And grab our souls while we're at it. That drop can be problematic, I've had issues with it before. But it's alright. I think between videos I'll definitely be clearing this room out, like fully, because these guys can be a real pain in the arse. So we're going to, oh, do we not have a fragrant branch? Or I thought we did. Okay, so what I was saying about this room's redundant. We don't actually have the item required yet. This jump's annoying. Let's try rolling. There we go. Perfect. And we get a bonfire static for that. As I've said in the first episode, enables us to reset an area with higher level enemies. And this should bring us back down to the bottom. We've already seen this room. We'll go up. I'm trying to recall if there's a bonfire coming up. I think there is. Yes, there definitely is. I really don't want to be going down into the next area with no Estus. That would be detrimental to the playthrough, I believe. I'm going to heal again, just because, as you may be able to see, there is an archer on that roof. I believe there's actually two. And there's that guy who could be a pain in the arse. Going to ensure this guy doesn't stab us in the backside. And then rush this. I think there's two archers up there, there might just be the one. However many there are, there's also this guy who will die reasonably fast. Well, as long as we don't get hit by the bullshit hitboxes. Although, to be honest, that was more my fault. And we'll go through this fog into the tower. Sinners rise. I believe the enemies up there, the archers, drop down. Yes. I was going to say, they used to in the original build of the game. But with this being Scholar of the First Sin, who knows what happens. So we can come up here. I was going to say, I thought there was an appearance of the dragon or whatever it is here. I actually don't know where it is though. Oh, it's that. Let's grab this item that's tucked away cleverly here. I don't know where the archers have gone. They've probably dropped down, in which case they'll be circling around. I'm going to use these quickly. I'm going to go and level up before we go to the next area, because the next area can be a pain. Do we have any weapons we wanted to work towards using? That's the question. Twin blade was one I was looking at, I think. What are the stats required? 26 dex. So we're going to go back to my jeweler and try and get 26 dex. We won't be switching over to the twin blade until we can get it to like +4, probably. I do sort of want to wait until we get a good boss weapon, but having 26 dex may help us with the requirements to wield those anyway. Blimey, we can only get 3 levels, and we're only like a small way through the game. I mean, I guess it's alright, we can look at upgrading the twin blade. Okay, so we don't have enough souls to upgrade it further yet. You can actually wield weapons when you don't meet the requirements then. I don't know what the penalty is for not having those requirements, but there is one. I think it's that you can't dual wield it, or you have to dual wield it or something. I could be wrong there though. As I say, Dark Souls 2 really not too sure. What I am sure is that you want to take this guy out pretty much immediately, because he can be a bit of a naughty sausage. Is he the only guy here? And that's why he dropped down after us? Apparently so. Alright, we want to go down here. As you can see, there's a crossbow poking out. Immediately go around, deal with this guy, but another one should follow us around, I think. Yes, there he is. You might be able to see there's 2 archers in there. We'll be alright. I'm not sure if we're actually going to get to the boss of this area in this video, but we're going to get close. We're going to rush in. We're going to dodge the first couple of crossbow bolts. Get a critical hit in on him by stabbing him in the back. Dodge, oh, I was going to say dodge this guy as well, but he fired very, very quickly. Naughty little bugger. And go down this lift. Now, be aware, sometimes on lifts in this game, there's platforms you want to drop out onto early, and we're going to do that here. I think this is another boss where we can use Lucatile, in which case we'll have almost finished her quest line. We'll grab the lacerating knife, drop down again, and yes, Lucatile Admira is a summon available for this boss fight, or the boss fight coming up anyway. Now this corridor is not nice at all. That's the fog gate over there. As you can see, there's a gate in the way of it. There's a lot of enemies between now and then. One of which was added for the Scholar of the First Sin edition of this game. It's a flexile sentry. For some reason they made a couple of bosses in this game with mobs for the Scholar of the First Sin. It's perfectly alright. We can deal with it, but it's still a bit bullshit. So we just want to get a couple of hits in where we can. And then back up, because as you can see, he does have a lot of attack power behind him. Make sure that lift's behind us in case we have to back up quickly. Come on. Do something that I can punish. So yeah, just keep doing this, backing up into this spot here. We actually staggered him there, which is kind of lucky. And then keep pushing through here. Now, there are some annoying enemies in this area. You can probably hear the chains jangling from behind there. We're not going there just yet. Instead we're going through here to grab this item. And then we're going to go through there. As I say, there are some really annoying enemies in this area. They are basically the same enemies that we've just been fighting. Probably wouldn't have known this was here without, well, looking it up or something. I don't think I did look it up first time around. I think I was just randomly pressing A or X on random doors. But anyway, if you want to deal with one of those, I feel like there's more. There's definitely one here. There's also a summon sign there that you can use to summon somebody in to help you at this stage of the game. I don't know who it is. We'll go and have a look now actually. After we've been in here, check the corners of these rooms quickly when you come in, because I'm almost certain in one of these rooms there's a crafty little bugger sat in a corner. It's Cellsaw's away again in there. He has a massive shield, as you can see. We're not going to be using him. I would actually like to get the boss fight done this episode, I think, but depends if it takes us a minute to get through this area and if we die at all. Okay, there's nobody in this room. I'm sure one of these rooms has an enemy. I'm going to open this door using the Bastille key. As you can see, there's another ID Knight there, minding his own business. And a fire sea, which you use to upgrade your, oh, what is it called now? Pyromancy glove, or Pyromancy flame. We took a hit there. It's alright though. I don't actually like these spear guys, as I've probably mentioned when we encountered them in the Ice Tower. But they're not too terrible. Heavy attacks with a big weapon like this is more than enough to break their poise. We're going to work our way in here, quickly deal with that guy. I was going to say, I was sure one of the rooms has one who's like half submerged, which can be a pain. Okay, so we did die. I kind of anticipated that. This area is annoying. The only pain now is that I think we've got to do the Flexile Sentry again. I'm going to rush over and do this guy. I just thought actually we need to use one of these to ensure that we can summon Lucatile in to do her questline. So we're going to rest again. This might end up being cut a little bit short this episode just because I don't want it dragging on for like 50 minutes, but we'll try and at least get down to opening the gate up and then maybe leave the boss fight to start off the next episode. It may be a boss that takes me more than one attempt anyway, I'm not sure. Although that being said, I'm finding the DS2 bosses a lot easier than, well, my first playthrough when I was absolutely useless at this game. It might just be experience with all the other Souls games since, with 3 and Bloodborne being significantly harder than this. Although that being said, there are areas in particular the DLC that really know how to ramp the bullshit factor up. I'm thinking about Reindeer Valley at the minute, Horsefoot Valley. I really hope that Flexile Sentry is a one-time only enemy, but I don't think there are many of those in DS2. In which case, yeah, we've just got to make sure we don't die really, so we can get our souls back. The biggest problem with this area is mainly just the run back. It's a fair distance having to go through all the water and deal with all those annoying exploding enemies. I did feel there was a fair chance we'd die here. Now, does he respawn? Yes. Oh god. Oh. There we go. Come on. Do something I can punish. Get 2 heavy attacks in, I'm probably going to take a hit here. This is so annoying that I've got to do this guy again. Yeah, I know I'd take a hit there. Managed to get a cheeky one in my own map, so it doesn't really matter. That's not nice. Got the stagger there. I really don't like cheesing enemies like this, but in DS2 it's just the fucking bullshit on the hitboxes. The ridiculous recovery times after you take a hit sometimes can be a bit overwhelming. You just tend to get locked into like a cycle of taking damage and being unable to get out of it. Come on. Will this guy just die? Like, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna try and rush back through and deal with the enemies we've already dealt with. There's a guy around here. I don't think we'll need to do the Hide Knight again. In fact, it looks like he's already dead. He must have been a one-time only enemy, which is a bit dumb really. But the Flexile Sentry isn't. It's stuff like that that makes people say this game's just artificial in its difficulty, and you can definitely see why. Like, there's a lot of bullshit in it that you wouldn't see in the other Souls games. So one way you can do this is just lure the enemies out. You can probably hear the rattling of chains, so you just come up here and take them out one at a time. Not the only one that's decided to come and play ball. Well, we're going to drop down here now and hope that they follow us. I can definitely hear some movement. Yes. I think there's a few of them down there. I could be wrong though. There's at least one there. Not anymore. As I said in a previous episode, there's a rule of just killing everything once. Oh god. Oh god. So that means we've got to take all these out, even if we've died to a few, killed a few before we died to that one. We've got to do the rest of them. That retrieval sound reminds me so much of Amnesia, The Dark Ascent. I'm going to come into each of these rooms and just try and trigger any stragglers. I don't think there are any. I think we've got them all now. Well, there's one hidden underwater in one of the rooms, but that's as far as lockstone anyway. We can use that to open up the area I showed in the previous episode where we were unable to go. Where we did one of the 8 billion pursuer fights that are in this game. Oh god. Yep, there was one hidden underwater. And he just snuck up on us like a little bitch. Thankfully, we dealt with him. I think there's an item up in one of these. These are like other shortcuts you can use to get back through. You use the Bastille key, I think, and it just allows you to bypass all that bullshit. So if we die, we can rush back through, but the problem is we'll be bringing Lucatiel along as a summon, so we really can't. But before we summon Lucatiel, I want to get a couple of things out of the way over here. You'll see what I mean. Or at least you should. Where are they then? Okay, so I think something's been changed here for the Scholar of the First Sin edition. There used to be quite a few enemies in this area. Like those big guys with the... I don't even know what type of weapons they've got, pole arms. But they seem to have been moved for Scholar of the First Sin. I know in New Game Plus there are definitely still enemies here. But thankfully we're not in New Game Plus because the boss fight coming up gets a lot harder. So there's something you want to do here. We have in our inventory an item that allows us to light a torch with a great little animation there. We want to light these 2 oil slips. The reason being is the boss environment for the enemy coming up is very, very dark and it prevents you locking on. You don't always want to lock on in Souls games, but for this fight it's a little bit more handy than in others. So we're now going to go and summon Lucatile and really hope that she doesn't throw herself off the edge of this cliff. I don't think she will, but it's Dark Souls 2, you never do know really. Hopefully we don't get ambushed by an enemy that we thought was gone. We're also not going to send the lift back up, just in case Lucatile decides to pass off the edge underneath it and die, which I think has happened to me before in this game. We're going to summon Lucatile and Mira. We'll wait for her by this door. Her design is actually sick. Now, one thing that I think you're supposed to do with the summons here, or the game advises you to do I guess, is summon her and whoever the fellow up there is, and use them to help you fight through this little gauntlet on the way to the boss. But we don't want to do that because Lucatile will almost certainly die. And as I said, we need her to survive 3 boss encounters. I think it's 3 anyway. This will be 2 of the 3, so I'm going to shut up and let this little cutscene play. So we have the Lost Sinner. She's kind of agile. She was one of the harder boss fights in my first playthrough of this game. I remember being walled for a long time before I knew about iframes and stuff like that. And before I knew the trick to leaving the lights on so you could dodge effectively. She absolutely wrecked me back then. But I know that she's generally seen as being kind of easy, as long as you don't mess around too much. We're going to let Lucatile take a bit of aggro while we heal. But as you can see, her health isn't brilliant, so we want to try and get a few good hits in. Make sure this female boss, yes it is a female, dies before Lucatile does. As you can see, she likes to jump back quite a bit. But it's okay. We'll just follow her around. And that's the end of the Lost Sinner. Much easier than, well, I felt on my first playthrough. I was just beating one of the Great Souls, who are the 4 main bosses we're supposed to be tracking down. As you can see, she was chained up for a while here, rolled quite a lot into the ground. I can't read that. There's probably somebody on the planet who's deciphered it and worked out how to speak that language. I haven't. Let's read the description on the Lost Sinner's soul as well, because after all she is one of the Great Lords. Oh, it's that one. Soul of the Lost Sinner, prisoner of Sinner's Rise. The Lost Sinner eternally punishes herself for the sins of her past. And she also punished me for hours on end originally, but she is actually really easy. Like, her attacks are say telegraphed like a lot of the bosses in Dark Souls 2. It really makes the game feel that bit less enjoyable and engaging, just how simple they made the bosses in this game for the most part. But DS1 was very similar. I'm going to hit this chest just in case. I can't remember when the first one that we'll have issues with will be, chest-wise. We've got a fragrant branch of yore there, and we've got an Elizabeth mushroom. So we can actually now do the 2 things in this area that I wanted to show off. We're going to light the bonfire. I thought that coming here caused something else to happen, but no. So that's a primal bonfire which enables us to walk straight back to Majula. It's useful because that's the end of that path in the game now. We've beat one of the 4 Great Lords. We're going to level up a bit, but first we're going to keep upgrading that twin sword, or twin blade. And then I'll be calling it a video before we go back to the whatever it's called, the Lost Bastille. To finish up a couple of loose ends there.
The soul of an that is more than most undead can say.
I'm going to shut up for a minute and see if there's any more dialogue from the Emerald Herald.
That tiny thing inside the ruins.
Apparently not, just 2 lines of dialogue. So we're going to level up. We want to keep going with Dex. 5 levels out of that fight, that's good. We're on the way to being able to wield the twin blade, which, as you saw, we put a few upgrades into. I don't know if it's quite as strong as this yet, +6 versus +5, so no. But it's close enough for me. So that'll be that for this episode, folks. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.